Hi, in this video, I wanted to share a quick grounding exercise or centering, if you prefer the word centering. I switch between the two, that you can do, just in real time that doesn't require going into a full-blown guided meditation kind of thing. Like if you're in a space where you're just like, I need to kind of tone myself down, like my brain is overstimulated kind of thing, and I am sitting here in the middle of my day and I don't have time to go and lay down and do like whether it's like a yoga nidra or a full-blown thing. This only takes a couple minutes. So the first thing that I end up doing is I put a hand to my heart and I start to I like to close my eyes, but if you prefer to keep your eyes open, that's totally fine. Do whatever helps your body feel more supported and safe and relaxed. Okay. So I close my eyes and I put a hand over my heart and I start breathing just a couple of deep breaths into my heart space. And as I'm breathing into my heart space and feeling my hand over my heart, I feel the energy of my heart. Science is showing just how much power is behind the energetic center, the magnetic field of the heart. So even if you're not that kind of person who really feels or senses the energy, if you breathe into your heart space, I'm pretty sure you might just feel some sort of shift in some sort of way. And what I tend to do when I'm doing this breathing into my heart space is I can feel that energy. If you don't feel it, just imagine it, because sometimes I'm like not really feeling it, so I'll just imagine it too. Just imagine that heart energy, whether you resonate with the chakras, like the heart chakra energy, whether you resonate more with the electromagnetic field or just heart energy, whatever resonates, just imagine it or feel it in your hand. And then what I'll do is I'll take the hand that was not over my heart space and I will move that one over my heart space, and I'll take the one that was on my heart space and I will put it over my head, my brain. And then I start breathing into my brain and start feeling that heart energy just soaking into my physical brain and the brain stem with each breath. And if I'm not really feeling it, then I'll just imagine it. And what I've noticed is when I do this, my heart is kind of serving as an anchor, so to speak. And I'm not talking the emotional heart. I'm talking, that deep sacred space of the heart that is beyond thoughts and emotions, if that makes sense. And what I find is when I do that, and then I have a hand over my brain and I start to imagine or feel some of that heart energy going into the brain, it's like a soothing balm for my brain. And so then my brain's just like, oh, okay, we can calm down. And then at the same time, um, what I've also noticed is that it kind of it tones down the stimulation, but then it helps my brain, if this makes sense, feel connected to the rest of my body. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I'm in a really like stressed out or overstimulated headspace, I feel like a floating head. So like all of my attention and stuff, and I kind of feel it energetically too, is like all up in my head and my face. And it feels really foggy, it feels boggy, and it feels unsteady. And so then, like, the rest of my body is just like kind of following suit sometimes. And then sometimes I'll notice like the rest of my body is like relaxed and fine. Like heart space down feels really chill and kind of calm, and everything else, like the storm is like mental storm is like all up here. And so I noticed that it's kind of like when I do that exercise, like I said, it only takes like several breaths. Sometimes if it's really like, if I really need to tone down, maybe a couple minutes, but I find me more grounded, and I feel like it's like my brain is integrating with the brain that is the heart, because there isn't, science has found out there's nervous tissue in the heart and the nervous tissue in your gut. So your gut is another brain too. So I look at it as the three brains pretty much resynchronizing. And it's an interesting feeling, but I feel more grounded and centered when I do that. So that was what I wanted to share with you guys. Sometimes I'll feel called to put a hand over my lower belly, kind of like how in like the yogic tradition, sometimes you'll see hand over heart, hand over lower belly kind of thing. But sometimes for me, the best thing for me to calm down is to focus more on the brain and the heart, and then maybe expand into the lower belly. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you do try this, or you have some sort of grounding technique that's similar, I would love to hear it. I am aware of other grounding techniques, like, imagining energy coming up from the earth up to, the rest of my body. What I find is sometimes I feel like I'm straining, like I'm fighting gravity to bring it up. Like my brain just feels that like needing the effort. And what I find is like doing this, or like this, and then going to this. That was very abridged, but doing that sometimes bypasses that straining or efforting that my mind tries to do sometimes when it comes to grounding, because grounding and centering is not supposed to be straining. So yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, I thank you for being here. I'd love to hear in the comments what you do to ground. Like if you only got like literally a couple minutes, you got a couple breaths, what helps you guys. And yeah, hopefully I will see you guys in another video.